What's up, guys? We are live, I do believe. I'm just waiting for the little memo here from YouTube that says we are a go. All right. I think we're live. Started a little bit early because I just wanted to get the alert out that I am running the live show. Took some notes this time to keep me on track. But first off, I just wanted to obviously say welcome to the second edition of Shop Talk. Today I feel much better. Last time I was like super nervous, but I guess you'll have that. I was still trying to like make sure that everything was like running correctly and everything, and I don't know. It was just nuts. But thanks for hanging out last week. If you did come to the live show, it was pretty fun. I definitely went a little longer than I thought that I would. I think the last live show ran like an hour and 16 minutes or something like that. I don't think I'm gonna go an hour and 16 minutes this time. I'd really like to keep these kind of short. I mean, not as long as last times, but that was the first time. Things are gonna evolve. Things are gonna change. It's gonna be fun. So, but I did want to thank you guys for asking all your questions and really contributing to the show. That was a lot of fun. So, obviously, if you guys haven't checked out any of the videos from Monday or Wednesday of this week, you can go ahead and check those out on my channel. They were really fun. Monday's video was about like getting creative with backgrounds and things around your house, like found surfaces to shoot on, especially if you're shooting product or if you're doing like cooking videos or things like that. I personally went out and I found some ceramic tile. I really wanted to shoot something that kind of put off more of a manly vibe. Something that I would do to, like I'd use that video for YouTube, and then I would also take the photographs and the footage that I got from that video and maybe use that as a piece to show a business and say like, hey, this is what I can do with, a men's watch or, a set of headphones or something like that. So that was really fun. I found a piece of slate that worked out really well for the headphones. And then I just used my phone, obviously, headphones, the phone, the Bluetooth, and then a pair of sunglasses just as kind of like a, you're going out. These are the things that you kind of need if you're out for a run or you're going out to take a walk, stroll around town or something like that. Wednesday's video was pretty fun. Wednesday's video was all about how to use the warp stabilizer inside of Premiere Pro. The warp stabilizer really, like I said in the video, it's saved my ass, a million times. You go out and you shoot video, and you're shooting some B-roll or something like that, and you're on the fly, so maybe you don't have a gimbal or maybe you don't have a camera strap to do like the the steady shots and things like that. But it's a lot of fun, and you can go and you can shoot on the fly. You can do some handheld stuff, and as long as you're wide enough, like as long as your lens is wide enough and you're shooting a wide field of view, then you can use that warp stabilizer and it really will stabilize your footage pretty well. Let's see what is going on here with this stream health. Okay. It says that you guys might be experiencing some minor issues with the viewing. Sorry if that's the case. I don't know. That's the thing that bugs me about like internet and stuff, like just as a sidebar. I went, and whenever I started to work from home and running my own business from home, I went and I upgraded to like the top tier package, got the fastest internet you can buy, and it still just seems to crash on me all the time and be somewhat slow. It's a pain. But I digress. Where was I? Wednesday, the warp stabilizer. So inside of Premiere, there is this function that basically, if you have footage that is, a little shaky or something like that, basically you can take and you can apply this filter, and what it'll do essentially is like zoom into your clip, and it will stabilize your clip almost, in the way that a gimbal would stabilize a camera. It's basically doing it digitally to your footage. And so it produces a very nice stabilization. In the video, I talk about how it defaults to like a 50% smoothness. And for some reason, I don't know why it would do that, but it kind of gives it almost like a funhouse mirror effect, like certain parts, maybe the background or maybe the foreground, something like starts to like get warped. Okay. And that's how it does it. It's called the warp stabilizer because it warps things into what it thinks is stable, but it's not always stable. But if you take and you take that smoothness down, that percentage, I always use 11%. That's my sweet spot. I've just been using 11% for years, and I don't know. It seems to do the job. There are different modes that you can use also. The one that I like to use most is perspective. If you do it by perspective, if you tell the program to kind of the word I'm looking for, stabilize your footage by perspective, then a different algorithm will set in and it'll stabilize your footage that way. There's like 4 options. So if one doesn't work for you, you can always go through and pick different ones. But those were the videos for Monday and Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to the videos for next week. The video for Wednesday is going to be more of a guide to shooting B-roll. I'm really going to get in depth on some things that I do particularly. One thing that I've been really, really grateful for is the fact that people reach out to me and tell me that they do enjoy my B-roll and the way that I shoot B-roll. And that makes me really happy because A, I'm a video guy, and B, I do this for a living. C, that's something that I've been working on for a very long time. I've been in the video industry now by myself and with companies for over 12 years. So it's definitely a good craft to hone. You definitely want to do that if you're, trying to make video or even YouTube, just a hobby or a passion or a business. So that's something you definitely want to get good at, shooting B-roll. So Wednesday's episode will focus on shooting B-roll and kind of the tips and tricks that I have, ways that you can stabilize your camera other than the warp stabilizer. Maybe if you take a camera strap and you do things like that, or they have a really cool like hand strap that I use. I bought mine from a company called Peak Design. If you guys don't know what Peak Design is, this company is incredible. They make so many amazing different gadgets for like cameras, and they have camera bags and all kinds of different things. But the hand strap I bought for shooting photography, and it's just one strap that goes this way, and you just slide your hand in it, and it really makes everything very stable. So that's a cool one. A whole camera strap that goes around your neck. If you like pull it out like this way and you pull it tight, so that's like really you know, the tension is there, then that's another good way to get some stable shots. If you don't have a gimbal or something like that available to you. So we're going to go through that. We're going to go through some of my better B-roll segments in some of my past videos. And I'll just go ahead and kind of comment on how I got those shots and the different techniques that I used in the editing to put that segment together. So it'd be super fun. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then on Monday, Monday's kind of a surprise video. I'm sticking with those short videos for Mondays. The biggest thing about shooting those like really short, to the point videos for Mondays is kind of, you know, I want my retention to hold up. You know, if I'm putting out a 10 or 15 minute video on, you know, 2 days a week, then, you know, people are going to maybe watch like 3 minutes of it and drop out. You know, no matter how awesome your video is and how good the information is, it just seems like, you know, most of the time people are there to watch and then they're like, okay, I'm moving on. So Mondays are really for, you know, short, to the point videos. I want these videos to really kind of, you know, get you excited and give you some useful tips and tricks to use in your videos or photography. And, you know, any video that you know, put under, I don't know, 2 minutes or a minute and a half, you know, those videos are very shareable, especially if you don't do a lot of speaking. If it's just to the point, you're showing, you know, 5 tips to better B-roll or, you know, 10 camera hacks or something like that. Those videos tend to do very well, and you know, they make people want to share them because it's just like a quick thing and it's like, oh, hey, look what I found, type of thing like that. So I try to do not a whole lot of talking and a whole lot of just showing and beauty shots and things like that. I actually remembered to go get beer for this episode. Last episode, I was drinking a rum and Coke, and I made it too strong, so I really was just kind of sipping it, like really nursing it, because I just didn't really like the taste of it. And I also didn't eat the entire day. That's kind of like my thing. I don't know. I go the whole day without eating, and then I eat dinner. So I try to kind of save up all my calories till the end of the day, which I don't know if it's a good thing. It really doesn't seem to be working out. But so I had nothing to eat and a super strong rum and Coke, and at one point I was just like, caught myself rambling, and I was like, oh man, no more rum and Coke for these. So today we've got ourselves a Victory Hop Devil. It's very good, very tasty. I don't know if you guys like IPAs or not. I'm a big fan. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump into some questions here that I got from Twitter and Instagram. Josh B, my bad, sorry. Josh B from Instagram. Where did you get the tiles from Monday's video? I can't find the black one that you used. I got those tiles from Lowe's. I got one that was kind of like dark and speckled, which I didn't use in the video on Monday. And then I got the one that I think you're talking about is the slate one. It's not black. I think it was probably the look that I put on the video and the photos. So it wasn't black. It was slate. It's very nice. Excuse me. So I got that at Lowe's. a 12 by 24 ceramic tile, which gives you some like really good surface area to shoot on, especially if you're shooting with like a macro lens or something like that. That thing was $4.50. So, I mean, if you just think about it that way, you know, you can go on Amazon, or you can go to Adorama, you can go to B&H, anything like that, and you can pick up backgrounds. But the second that you type in photography background, the price immediately skyrockets. So what you would pay, you know, at Lowe's for a tile, like I said, it was like $4.50. If you were to pick up, you know, a really thin sheet of plastic with that look, with that sleek look on it, and it was geared for photography specifically, there's no doubt in my mind you would probably pay like $35 for that thing, and it's ridiculous. You know, product photography, people have you pegged at that point. It's just like, oh, he's shooting products, he's making money, we're gonna charge $35 for this product, and they know they can do it too. So yes, Josh B, I got that at Lowe's. So I'm sure you could find something similar to that at Home Depot or any other kind of you know, place where you get ceramic tile. Let's see, Dan from Twitter, your videos look like Peter McKinnon's. Thank you. That's like one of the bigger compliments that I've gotten. I've noticed recently, just since I've changed the direction of my channel and really kind of went full force into the video and photography realm. You know, a quick backstory. You know, my channel previously it started out as like prank videos. I was just kind of, you know, pranking my girlfriend and having fun with her. And it was just something that we could do together. And it was like a stress reliever for me, creative outlet. It was just something that, you know, I could make videos about something else other than work. So that was really fun. But, you know, I don't know, prank videos, they're really not that fun to do. So I then moved on to doing kind of like vlogs and doing some electric skateboard type videos. I was really into Casey Neistat and really kind of idolized him there for a little while. And it was a lot of fun. But moving forward, I really kind of had to audit my YouTube channel and got some advice from a really great source. And we discussed, you know, really kind of narrowing my focus and really making my YouTube channel work for me, to use it as a vehicle to spread the word about my business, which is video and photography, and to really kind of, you know, show potential clients like, hey, you know, if I can shoot amazing B-roll of this bottle of water right here, if I can make this bottle of water look incredible, you know, just imagine what I can do with, you know, your watch or whatever product you make. So that was like really my main focus whenever I changed directions of this channel. It was to really drive business to me and really kind of mesh everything. Like it felt like I was running a business and I was also doing a YouTube channel, and these things were like magnets. They wouldn't push together. But you know, now I feel like everything is integrated. You know, it's Jordan Hauser Digital is my business. Jordan Hauser Digital is my YouTube channel, and you know, photography and video are my main focus, all the way around. So, for you to say that my videos look like Peter McKinnon's, you know, I'd really like to say thank you, but you know, Peter McKinnon, He's an amazing guy. He's so incredibly talented, and everything that he puts into his videos is blood, sweat, and tears. And he's definitely one of my idols. Somebody that I look up to, somebody who influences me. I just really enjoy the fact that he's such a nice guy, and he is just ultra talented and really wants to help people learn. And for me, it's the same thing. Like, I really feel like I've learned a lot throughout my 12 and a half years of doing video and photography, and I'd really just like to help beginners or people even who are seniors in the industry, people who've been in the industry for a while, just that might not know all the tips and tricks that I know, and I learn from others that have tips and tricks that I don't know. So it's really cool. Thank you so much for saying that. You're actually not the first person that has said that, so I don't know if it's a thing where maybe I'm too heavily influenced by Peter McKinnon in my videos, or if it's more of a compliment saying that you like my videos as much as his, or you like my videos also. I try really hard not to allow my influences to spill over into my videos. Sometimes it's really tough. I get comments on videos that are like, oh, hey, I picked out 2 instances where it was kind of like Peter McKinnon. And, sometimes it happens. I really try to edit those out, but, it happens. Man, this is delicious. So, moving on. Thanks, Dan. I really do appreciate it. Allison from Twitter. Should I buy the Sony HX80? I've seen your videos. Okay. Well, thanks, Allison. Like I've said previously, we actually spent a little bit of time talking about this on the first live show last week. The HX80 is actually a pretty good camera. It's not really comparable to a G7X Mark II or anything like that. I made a video that basically was the G7X versus the HX80, and that was more of a title just to kind of get people watching the video. It was a clickbaity title. All right, let's just be honest about it. I really wanted people to click on that video, and whether they were going to be angry about that video or happy about the video. But mainly, I didn't actually put them head to head in a competition. I basically just wanted to show the differences between the cameras, especially for new YouTubers who are out there looking for a camera, something to shoot on, that don't understand why the G7X Mark II is more expensive than the Sony HX80. They see 2 cameras that basically look identical to this. You got a flip-up screen, you got your mics up here. It's got a video option, and it's nice, slim profile, fits right in your pocket. You can take it anywhere, shoot anything. Both cameras have those features, but the features that the Canon G7X have are far superior. The sensor is a 1-inch sensor. On the HX80, it is a micro 2/3 sensor, and that all attributes to picture quality and things like that, light, sensitivity. Let me ask you a question, Allison. If you could get back to me somehow via Twitter. If you can get back to me via Twitter or on YouTube or something like that. If you are going to be shooting videos, I guess my question to you would be, are you going to be shooting videos in low light situations, or are you going to be in, something like this where I'm just using straight sunlight right now? I don't have any other lights on in my studio right now. I lied. That thing's on, but it's not doing much. If I turned it off, wouldn't make or break the video. So if you are using this camera, this is the HX80 right here. If you are using this camera for low light situations, then no, I don't recommend it. If you're using this camera to be filming outside, in bright light, or if you're taking it on vacation and you're filming mostly like outdoors, in a good amount of light. I can't stress that enough. You have to be in a good amount of light in order to keep the ISO low on this camera. And the aperture is 3.5. That's the widest and fastest this camera goes. So at 3.5, you're already kind of at a disadvantage, because if you're in just a normal room at 3.5, then you have to crank your ISO up pretty high to get a nice picture. So if you're outside, I say go for it, especially if you're just beginning. It's a nice affordable camera. I think the thing is on sale right now for like $280. You can't beat it. The G7X Mark II, I had it here on my desk somewhere. I don't know where it's at. With tax and total and all that stuff in Pennsylvania, it was like $780. I don't regret buying the camera. It was a good investment. I really like it. I actually took it to a meeting yesterday that I went to for my business, and ended up like taking pictures of places locations that we would film some things. So that it's a nice camera. We were indoors. Some of it was dark, and I got great pictures out of the G7X Mark II. So long story short, yeah, I'd go for it, especially if you're shooting outside in light. So thank you, Allison. Doug on Instagram. I watched your video on Wednesday about the warp stabilizer in Premiere. I used to hate that effect because it always looked worse than the shaky footage itself. But I tried the 11% like you said, and changed it to perspective instead of warp, and holy crap, my footage looks so much better. I always thought that effect was worthless until now. Keep up the good work. Doug, thank you very much. Yeah, I actually kind of went into that a little earlier in this live session. The warp stabilizer is a good tool. It's not so much of an effect as it is more of an application, or a tool that you would apply to your footage. Yeah, the first time that I used the warp stabilizer, also I left the smoothness up at like 50% or something like that, and it looked worse. Just like you said, it actually looked worse than the original footage that I was trying to stabilize. So once you figure that out, and you can get things down to a point where you figured out all of the ins and outs, the warp stabilizer is a great tool. But yeah, keep working with it. It's fun. Like I said, always remember, if you're shooting wide, the wider you shoot, the better, A, your footage is going to look handheld, and B, the easier that it's going to be to stabilize for the warp stabilizer. Keith, what up, dude? How are you, man? Sorry I missed the first few parts. I just saw the email for the live stream. How things been going? Pretty good, man. I actually just got on and said that last episode was really fun, and thank you very much for joining in for the last episode too. It went a little long. I'm going to try and keep these things a little shorter than an hour and 16 minutes, man. That was crazy. But it was fun. Last time I was really nervous. This time I feel great. I don't know. I think I was more concerned with whether the live stream was even working or not. And then it was just, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, basically just summarized Monday's video, Wednesday's video with the warp stabilizer. I did see your comment on there. It is it's a useful tool, man. And I saw you said it saved your ass too. And I'm glad that other people agree. When you're out shooting, I mean, you can attest to this. When you're out shooting, sometimes you're at the mercy of weather conditions or your surroundings and things like that. You can't always get the most stable shots, and sometimes you need a little help in post. Fix it in post. That's what they always say. Keith, we're drinking Hop Devil today. None of that rum and coke that I had last time. That was incredibly strong. All right. I'm going to go back to my questions here. This is the last one, actually. Stacy from Instagram. Do you shoot weddings? Yes. I'm a beginner. Any advice? Weddings? Okay. I'll get honest here. This is shop talk, all right? We're just talking shop. Do you shoot weddings? I'm a beginner. Any advice? So, basically, I do shoot weddings. I've tried to kind of decline on the weddings that I accept every year. Every summer that comes up, I take less and less weddings and charge a little bit more and more. Because my experience is, going up and my enthusiasm for weddings is slightly diminishing. It's a very good way of making some solid money, some fast money. It's not unheard of to go out for a summer and, pull down like $16,000, $17,000, $20,000 in a summer. And that's good money. Especially if you're someone like me who, runs his own business, and I don't get guaranteed paychecks every 2 weeks, like I used to. So every once in a while, when I'm in a rut, you get your highs and lows when you run your business. When I'm in my lows, and I see some weddings out there available, I'll go ahead and I'll bid on those weddings, and that just, try and keep the calendar full. Any advice for weddings? Don't get too freaked out when you're shooting. If you're nervous at a wedding, you're going to miss things. You're not going to be on top of your game. So you didn't really say whether you shoot video or photos, or maybe you do both. I do both, not at the same time. I would never do that if I were you. I would never agree to shoot videos and photography for the same event. That's you're really gonna kick yourself in the ass after you do that one time. But yeah, I don't know what you're doing, photos or video, but I would say just stay on top of your game. Don't get nervous. Don't let the day stress you out. The DJ and the photographer, if you're shooting video, are your best friends throughout the entire day. The DJ runs the whole show. So say you're out getting B-roll and you're doing something, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, the first dance is about to start in 30 seconds. Then it's like, oh my God, I need to change lenses. I need to hook up a mic. I need to do this. The best thing you can do is keep in close contact with the DJ and say, hey, I need you to let me know 10 minutes in advance before anything happens. You know, and those guys are so willing. They run the show, so they are so willing to make everything run smooth and let you know exactly what you have to do at any point in time. So if you're going to shoot weddings, I would say do it. Always, 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 I can't stress this enough, always take backup cards. And if you have backup cameras, take those along with you too. I've heard horror stories of people. I don't even know if I should be telling you this because I don't want to freak you out. But I've heard of photographers that basically had one camera, one card, and go and they shoot a wedding, and the card got corrupted, and they lost wedding pictures. Then you're in a sticky situation. It turns into something that could be a legal battle. You know, you don't want anything like that. So always cover your ass. Always take extra cards. Always, you know, if you have access to multiple cameras, take multiple cameras and just enjoy it. Have fun. I mean, it's a party. So, you know, be lively and you know, kind of, you have to be a little demanding. You know, if you see that you're running out of time, and, you know, maybe the bridesmaids or the groomsmen are like a little tipsy, they're drunk or something, just be like, hey, look, we have to get pictures done. We have to get this video done. You guys can drink as much as you want as soon as we're done with this. All right. So, Stacy from Instagram, that is what I would tell you as far as weddings go. Just enjoy it. Make that money. I mean, I have a few this summer, and I'm really excited to go and do them. And I actually just potentially booked 2 weddings today. So, very cool. Keith, my man, I'm coming right back to you. Yes, if you can't make it, fake it. Absolutely. Going back to that stabilized footage. You know, anything that helps. You know, that's true. You are a beer man. Me too, man. I just like last week, I don't know. I was like so nervous about like getting this thing up and running that like I didn't know if I was getting a good live stream. I didn't know if it was even working because I had to download a program in order to hook up to YouTube. Like nobody tells you that. And I had no idea. So there I am at like 11 in the morning, like scrambling to get all these things in order, and forgot to go get beer, which I should always just have in the house, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. And, you know, so I made that big rum and Coke, and I made it too strong because I was nervous, and I was like, oh yeah, a little extra won't hurt. It hurt. It was terrible. What was the first camera that you started with? Mine was the Canon 400D, the XTI. I think in the US. The very first DSLR that I ever had was a Nikon. I want to say it was the Nikon 500D or something like that. It was pretty cool. It didn't have a video function. I remember that. So when I got the camera, it didn't have the video function, and I was like really bummed out about that. So my very next purchase was the Canon 550D, which is the Canon T2i. That was the first camera that had like HD video. It took great photos. The ISO at the time was like insane. I think it went up to like 12,800. That's just insane. Something you would never use, but I mean, if you had to use it, you could. Yeah, the T2i, I would say, is my very first DSLR that I used all of the time. I shot commercials on that thing, tons of corporate videos, weddings. I actually used the T2i just up until like 2 years ago, and I replaced it with, or 2 summers ago, when I replaced it with the 80D. Very cool camera. I like the 80D. And I think I showed you guys last time, my workhorse is the Canon 6D. This thing's my my baby, my full frame. I love this thing. You got a fridge in the house just for beer. Dude, yes. I'm working on that. We have a pretty nice sized basement here, and I'm really kind of looking to get a like a kegerator, like a little beer meister. So, just throw a keg in there and just get some nice drafts or something like that out of it. But I definitely want to get at least a mini fridge, and I could just stash a few bottles in there. Maybe I could even put it here in the studio. That would just a little mini fridge, so I don't have to go downstairs to get a beer before these episodes. But I wanted to, after those questions, yeah, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to talk some shop. And Keith, what are you shooting this weekend? You got anything crazy going on? I know there's a lag here, so when I ask this question, you probably won't even hear it until, I don't know, 2 minutes from now. But I did want to see like what everybody was shooting this weekend or what you guys are working on. Nice. I'm currently shooting with the 5D Mark III, nice, as the workhorse, and the Canon XC10 for video. Got the 70D. Also, the 80D was a bit much when I was looking. Yeah, I was kind of in that. I was in that sweet spot where I got my 60 kind of when I was really, really kind of struggling, and I was like, man. So I went with the 60 because it was the full frame, but it was the more affordable option. And I don't know if you know this or anything like that, but they refer to the 6D as the Prince of Darkness because it has such a great low light capability. So and I was shooting weddings at the time, so that was like super important to me. But I was in a really good time whenever like the 70D was kind of going out and the 80D was just coming in, and I have all my lenses and things like that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna book a wedding and then I'm going to buy the 80D. So as soon as I booked the wedding, I knew that there was money coming in that month, and I ended up booking a few more weddings that month. So I was just like, all right, yes, I'm definitely doing it. And plus it gave me that 80D is super reliable. The T2i that I was using at the time started to really kind of be unreliable. It was I'd actually gone to a wedding, which is funny. Allison or Stacy, whoever asked the question about weddings, I was actually shooting a wedding in Conneaut Lake one time, and it was so sunny and it was so hot outside that the T2i actually overheated, and I ended up losing one of the angles of a wedding, and I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. It was terrible. But yes, the 80D, it's pretty nice. I like it. The flip out screen, and the 70D has a flip out screen as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Keith. But I'm pretty sure it does have the flip out screen. And I think that the 70D was the first, like kind of prosumer camera that had the Wi-Fi function, if I'm correct. I think that you can shoot and then like shoot the images like straight to your phone, which was really cool. That was like very kind of awesome for like Instagram and things like that. You're not doing much this weekend, redoing my website. Yes, dude, I just a month ago, I think I went through, took and spent like 4 days just going in and like doing all the SEO for every single image on my site and tagging every single image and keywords and all that stuff. SEO is a beast, to say the least. It's not that fun, but it definitely helps. My traffic just in the last month has gone up quite a bit. But it's a lot of fun. I did see the XC10 that you were using. I had a question about that. So as far as like, what is like the zoom, like what are the focal lengths of that lens? Because I saw it on your video, your proposal video, which was awesome, by the way. I can't say enough about it. I made my girlfriend watch that video, and I just loved your fiance's reaction to that. It was adorable. She was just like, "Oh, you're gonna do this right here in the middle of the road." Like, she was so surprised. I thought it was just absolutely awesome. Great job. But I noticed whenever you had the camera, so I went and I looked at it online. It's a fixed lens, am I correct? That thing's attached. So I was just wondering what the focal lengths on that were like, and I guess like minimum aperture and max aperture, kind of just everything about it. And does that thing shoot in 4K? I don't know. It does have the flip out screen, perfect for the vlogging along with the G7X. It does have Wi-Fi to grab images on the phone. Yeah, I thought that 70D really kind of was revolutionary in that realm. I know that the 60D had the flip out screen, and at my old company that I used to work for when I lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Ada Media Solutions, we had a 60D that we used kind of as an auxiliary camera, just, kind of, run and gun, kind of get some footage, get some quick footage and stuff like that. And the 60D was like really cool. I really enjoyed shooting that with that flip out screen, because if we were to go and put that thing like on like a jib or something like that, it was really neat, because this is the 80D right here, but you could take it, you could flip that screen down, and if you put it on that jib or the crane and you take it up and you take it up, then you look up and you could see your footage on that if you didn't have a monitor hooked up or something like that. So the 60D I think was just very, revolutionary in that respect. I think the 24 to 300 millimeter. Oh, wow. Man, that's pretty impressive. I didn't assume that the lens had the length or something like that, but the aperture is variable. Okay, yeah. So I have it set to 5.6, but it goes to about 2.8. Nice. Dude, that's not bad. It does shoot in 4K and the slow-mo in 720 along with 1080p. That's pretty sweet. That is cool. That sounds like a pretty banging camera. That's not bad. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I really like the look of it. I remember when I was working for American Eagle, the last company that I worked for, there was a Canon rep that came in with some of their new gear, and she brought the XC10 in, and I only had like 5 minutes to like really put my hands on it and really kind of like play with it and see what its capabilities were, and then I had to run to a shoot. But it was a really cool camera. I really liked that it was like small and compact. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that it does have built-in XLR jacks for audio. If not, correct me, but I was pretty sure that it did. But it was a really cool camera. When I had my hands on it, it was really neat. The big thing that it shoots in slow-mo. So that's pretty cool. At 1080, does it shoot in 60 frames or does it shoot in 120 at all? Because if it shoots in 120, I'd be really impressed with that. 60 frames per second. That's kind of what I've got going on with most of my cameras. The 80D, the G7X Mark II. The only thing that I have that shoots like super slow, like 120, is my GoPro. It's the Hero 4 Black. And I don't know. Don't even get me started on GoPro footage. I'm like, it seems like GoPro is like almost a necessary evil. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like using the GoPro for much, but whenever I need it, then it's there, and it's like, oh, all right, thank God that I do have this. But yeah, Jared Polin Frono's Photo used it quite a lot in the past for real world reviews. It's 3.5 for audio, but has built-in image stabilization. That's pretty banging. Okay. I don't know, maybe do they have different tiers of that camera? Like the XC10, do they have like XC10 like Plus or like XC15 or XC20 or something like that? Because I know that when the Canon representative came in, I remember holding that camera and I remember seeing XLR jacks on that camera. I don't know if it was a prototype. So I don't know, maybe. Let's see, 24p 25 and 60 for 1080 and 120 for no shit. It shoots in 120 at 720. That's pretty awesome. 120 I think is doable at 720, only because your viewer is so fascinated with the fact that you're shooting 120 that maybe they don't realize that it's at 720. So, at least that's my thoughts on it. I don't know. My GoPro's been in a drawer for years. Exactly. Dude, I can't even with GoPro. It's like, when I was doing those skateboard videos and like my bike video and things like that, I'll take and I'll clamp it on to like that just so I have another camera angle. But dear Lord, that thing it's terrible. And what really makes me mad is like you see all those GoPro ads and like you walk into a Best Buy and it's like GoPro footage everywhere, and it's like the most incredible looking footage. It's all in 4K. It's the most saturated stuff you're ever going to see. It's all underwater at the most amazing location in like Tahiti or some bullshit like that. So yes, it looks awesome. I can tell you from experience that in, gray ass Pennsylvania, it doesn't look that great. So I really don't use it that much. I use it, if I'm going on vacation or something like that. That's pretty much it. Like, I'll take it. I did start to use it for street photography because it was small. It was the smallest camera that I had at that point. Now that I have the G7X, like I'll use that or something. But to like walk around with the GoPro in your hand, just kind of like that, and like just walking and click and just keep on walking, if you were shooting people and didn't want to draw too much attention to yourself. But just the basic XC10, but they did release the XC15 with XLR slots. That must have been what I saw when the Canon rep brought it in. That's absolutely what it was. Yeah, it was cool. It was a touch screen. I know that the screen was touch screen and that it had 2 XLR slots, like on the top or on the side or something like that. But it was a really neat camera, and I was like really jazzed on it that I thought my company was going to buy a couple of those, and they ended up not buying them. So we ended up getting the Canon C300 and a Canon C100. After I left the business, they ended up picking up a Canon C100. I kind of freed up some budget with my salary, so they went ahead and bought some nice stuff. But yeah, it was really it was a cool camera. I really liked it, and I think that, you know, especially for shooting, you know, vlogs or something, to have a camera that's more dedicated to video that is that size and not like a big camera, I think that's it's pretty sweet. So, all right. Well, like I said, in an effort to keep these things pretty short, I didn't keep it short. We're rolling on 55 minutes here. We're almost at an hour, and I still have, Jesus, 3/4 of a beer. Let's see here. All the reviews were terrible for the XC10, but quite a lot of the proposal video was on the XC10 and looked nice. I bet you were... well, I really didn't mind that they were progressing, because I still have a lot of my close friends work in that video department. So for them to be able to utilize that equipment and things like that really makes me happy for them. It's a strange thing. I just actually had this conversation yesterday. It's crazy what a corporate environment will do for your we'll say confidence, and for your enthusiasm to go out and start your own business. I'm really not the type that ever really enjoyed being tethered to a desk. Luckily, at my last job, I was never actually stuck at my desk. I was always in the studio shooting. They kept me pretty busy, and I was always thankful for that. But, you know, there were little things that, you know, I just don't get down with as far as corporate goes. You know, I do a lot of corporate videos now for other companies, but I'm working under my own company, so I'm not actually employed by these people. So, you know, I don't have to follow all the crazy corporate-y rules and fill out timesheets and expense reports and, you know, do all kinds of goofy-ass paperwork and make spreadsheets and have meetings that are pointless and things like that. I'm not gonna get too far into my love-hate relationship with corporate, but it's definitely, it really does encourage you to take what you learned and apply it to your own business, and the things that you don't like, you know, leave those by the wayside. You know, one thing that I can really say about working at my last job, like in that corporate environment, was that it gave me a lot of confidence as far as making proposals and having meeting with people and giving them quotes, things like that, talking on the phone, sending emails, any kind of like professionalism, any kind of professional fundamentals that I learned from corporate now that apply to my business. Very grateful for those. And it was all those things that I hated and I bitched about while I was at my job that I actually use quite a bit now in my own business, because I see how they benefit me personally and not just I'm doing them because I was told to do them type of thing. But yes, freelance is the way forward, dude. I totally agree. You know, it took me many years to be able to really kind of gain the confidence to quit my 9 to 5 job and really leave behind that guaranteed 2 week paycheck. You know, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. That really took a lot on my part to make the jump and say, you know, as comfortable as this is, I don't want to do it anymore. I would rather be uncomfortable and really push myself every single day to get out there. And at that point, I am the one who decides whether I make money or not, or I pay my bills or not. I'm the one who is, I'm depending on myself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's cool. Part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to end up working 7 days a week, and I'm going to, and that's what's happening. I am working 7 days a week, but it's not 8 hours a day. Sometimes it's 12 hours a day. Sometimes it's 3 hours a day. It just depends on what needs done, and as long as I'm getting my things done and keeping my clients happy, then I feel successful, and it's pretty awesome. I only went out on my own and started my own business back in September, so it's only been a few months, but I'm very excited today. I actually, just potentially booked 2 weddings, and actually had a bid of mine accepted for a very, very large job with a nice, big, reputable company here in my area. So I'm super excited. Today was a very good day for the business. Pretty excited. It's not work if you enjoy it, though. Dude, I couldn't even agree more. Like, that is absolutely the truest words that I've ever even read. And it's 100%. It really isn't work. Like, even if I am at my desk, at this specific desk here in my own studio, 7 days a week for 10 hours a day, I would be the happiest person in the entire world. Because, if I want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, if I have an idea and I'm really motivated and, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep, I come upstairs, I jump on my computer, I start working, or I start like brainstorming and I have ideas. I like to write. I'm still I'm kind of in the crossover phase where it was like digital and like jotting things down on paper. So I'm a big fan of like brainstorming and things like that. So I do it all the time. But yeah, it's definitely, it doesn't feel like work. That's the best part. I love it. But all right, my man, I'm actually going to sign off. I'm actually going to type that to you right now because I don't want to just bail on you because you won't see this for like 2 minutes. So I'm typing to you right now. right. So I just typed over to my buddy Keith here. I'm going to bail. It's like the lag here is terrible. And I feel bad because like if I say like, all right, man, I'm going to take off, and then I just shut down, then it's like, oh, wait a minute. So I wanted to just go ahead and type a message real quick and catch you soon. Enjoyed the chat and the catch up, man. Yes. And like I said in the chat, dude, I can't wait to see what you got coming out next and things like that, man. Your latest video, I just saw an alert come across today that you put something out earlier this morning. I'm going to check into that right now. Did you put something out earlier this morning? I believe you did. Yes, you did. How to import custom presets into Lightroom Classic. That is a very, very awesome tutorial. There's a lot of people that definitely struggle on how to, they want to go out and they want to buy presets from like all these big name photographers, Peter McKinnon, or any other, big photographer that has their own presets and things like that. But they're totally like, how do I put these in? And then a lot of times they miss the whole read me part of this that teaches them how to do it. So very good video. I'll be checking that out because maybe I'm doing it the hard way. I don't know, man. You've saved my ass twice already by my count. So you're streamlining all my stuff and I enjoy it. So, man, I will talk to you later. Peace. Thank you so much for enjoying. We didn't have as big of a group as we did last time, but I certainly did enjoy this one much more. And that's pretty much what this is all about, man. Just sitting around, talking shop, and, just having a brew. So we'll see you guys next Friday. Don't forget to check out the videos that I put together on Monday and Wednesday of this week. And don't forget to check out the videos that are coming out Monday and Wednesday of this coming week. Like I said, Wednesday is going to be all about how to shoot B-roll and really kind of make those awesome shots work for you. So, all right. I will see you guys live again next Friday. Enjoy. We'll see you guys later. Cheers.